everyone, it's Mags. Thanks for joining me today. Hi Sandra, that is so sweet of you to say. I couldn't wait to be here either, and the weather really calls for a nice practice, doesn't it? Let me know who else is here. I love hearing from you, and it always, gives me more to think about what we could do. So we've got lots to do today. So I hope that you know what you're in for. We're going to work towards a bird of paradise pose. So it's a balance, it's a hip opener, and also you need to have openness through the shoulders to access the pose. But before we begin, I would like to remind you that the ultimate goal of yoga isn't the pose, but it's the awareness of the pose. It's the awareness of your body. It's the connection to your inner body and holding everything kind of in the space of your mind, of what's engaging, where you can let go, and also being aware of what you're feeling and what the pose is making you feel. What's your tendency if you're not achieving, as to speak. So, whatever happens, happens. If you get it, you get it, it doesn't matter. We're here to explore, to get to know our bodies, and we do that through the physical practice of postures. So, I hope that you're ready. You will need to grab a strap, and, just in case you need it. Otherwise, if you've got your beautiful self here and comfortable clothes, then you're good to go. Alright, so find a comfortable position where you can settle. Seated or lying down, whatever you feel drawn to. I particularly like to start practice seated because it's like the initiation of me being awake and aware. But if your energy levels draw you to lie down, it's perfectly fine to do that. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, softly close your eyes. Now beginning to tune your attention inwards, letting go of your experiences throughout the day, anything that you've got planned for this evening or the rest of the week to come. Connect to your physical body, notice how it feels. Perhaps it's the first time you've hit the pause button, you've been working flat out. So, forget about it all, just for an hour, it's all about you. So how are you feeling? What can you feel in your body? Scan it from your feet to the crown of your head. What can you do to make yourself just that little bit more comfortable, a bit more relaxed? Notice how your weight is distributed on the mat. What's your breath like? Are you breathing naturally and rhythmically? Or is your breath shallow, jagged? Take note of what's happening in your mind on the emotional landscape. How are you feeling today? How are you really feeling? And then set an intention for your practice. So either something that you need to work on, or if you feel like you could do with more of it in your life, so like a quality. If you need to work on patience. But perhaps you want to dedicate your practice to someone else, someone who's recovering from an illness or a wider community. You can even ask for peace in the world, and then your practice will be the pay for it. Begin deepening your inhalation, finding the upliftment. As you exhale, feel more grounded and settled. So deep inhalations into your belly and your chest. And slow, relaxing exhalations. So take 3 more. You be greedy with your breath. Allow it to nourish your body and settle your mind. So you know that yoga is physical practice with spiritual intention. And whether it is for you yet or not, physical practice will only get you so far. So what I mentioned at the beginning of the practice, that the ultimate goal is not the pose, it's not the perfect handstand, splits, whatever you're working on, but it's the awareness of what's happening on the emotional, mental and physical landscape of yourself. So yoga really teaches us patience and humility. It helps us shed usually the ego-driven practice so that we can accept ourselves exactly as we are and work with what we've got. So with this thought in mind, then open your eyes and transition onto your back, bringing the feet together and opening the legs out to the sides for Supta Baddha Konasana, or the reclined cobbler's pose, reclined butterfly. So you can bring the hands on your thighs, on your hips, and feel the weight of your body pressing into the mat. Connect to your hips and begin to activate your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. So breathe into your chest and allow gravity to do the work of gently pulling onto the legs, or to open up through the hips and the groin. What else is present? How does this pose make you feel? And with the next inhalation, bring the legs together and draw the knees towards your chest. Give them a little hug. You can rock from sides to sides, feeling your lower back, your sacrum on the mat. Just using this to find grounding. So feeling the mat with, your back, with the back of your hips. Then cup your knees and begin to draw circles outwards. So knees are going apart and coming together. So feel what's happening in your hips, whether you can keep the movement fluid, or if there's some tension in the knees or in the hips, then switch direction. So move slowly but mindfully. So we want to keep the movement as fluid as possible, bringing some fresh energy and awakening the hips. Now separate your knees and threading the arms through in between the legs. See if you can grab hold of the outer edges of the feet, perhaps in big toes or the back of the thighs. So coming into happy baby. Ankles are over the knees, shoulders are relaxed, and even though we're using the arms, you want to keep them fairly loose. So draw the sacrum and the tailbone closer to the mat and focus on the inner experience in your pelvis and the hips. Keep the belly drawn in, breathe into the chest, and relax your shoulders to the mat. So all is good. Just saying hello to the hips. Deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Inhale. Exhale. So one more breath in. Relax through the hips. And as you exhale, bring the hips down. Okay, so here, extend your left leg out and hug the right knee in, so you can allow it to slide off the body to help facilitate the opening through the hips. And either stay here, keeping the left leg engaged, so you're pressing it down into the mat, or you can grab hold of the big toe or even the outer edge of the foot, and we begin to draw the leg out to the side. So you want to, as though manually, open up through the hip. So slide it from left to right, feeling the outer right hip, how it feels in your glutes perhaps, and what position of the foot makes you or helps you access perhaps some of the stiffer areas of your hips. So just keep going. And then you can either stay here, continue to do that, or bringing the leg in front of you. So grab hold of the foot with the left hand and slide your right arm underneath. So like you hook the arm underneath your right calf. And then either holding onto the foot or you can grab the other. So grab your left arm underneath and lift your shoulder blades off the mat. Your belly's engaged and connect to your hip. So it's like you're kind of reading a book. You can try reading a book in this position. Maybe one day it will become comfortable. You never know. But we're working on opening through the hips, but keeping the engagement through the abdominal wall because it will come in handy later. So another round of breath here. And then as you exhale, gently release. Extend your right leg out. Pause for a moment. Give your right hip a little stroke. Well done, hip. And then bring the left knee in. So again, engage through the right leg. Let the left knee slide off the body if that feels good. Notice what's present. Perhaps this side doesn't feel so open. Or maybe it's more open. What is it like for you? And then grab hold of the outer edge of the foot and begin to draw the leg from right to the left. So this one always feels weird for me because I feel really clunky and awkward when I do it. But I know it's really good to help you open up through the hips and access all the, the tiny tissues and little muscles. And just bring more awareness to what's happening. Because depending on the angle of your foot and your shin, you might be able to access different areas. Okay, so one more time. And then bring the leg over, swap. So you hold the outer edge of the foot with the right hand. Lift up, squeeze the belly, engage the lower abdominals. Hook the left arm underneath, perhaps the right one. The right leg is engaged. Breath is easy and calm. All is well. Send your breath to where you feel most sensations and imagine any tension leaving with the exhalation. So one more round of breath here. And then gently release. Bring the leg down. Pause here for a moment. Okay. And then rock yourself up. I'm going to do something similar, but from seated. So we've done rock the baby. Sit cross-legged if you can, and lift your right leg up. So you can hold the outer edge of the right foot and support yourself with the left hand, or keep it wherever. And we begin to draw the leg out, so as though you're opening like big window shutters, I don't know, or like curtains maybe. So stay grounded through the sit bones, your belly is engaged, keep the long spine and allow the movement to be fluid. Okay, so then either just stay here or you can slide the outer edge of the foot in the elbow crease. So push the inner edge of the right foot into the arm and then interlace the fingers and just gently rock the baby. So the closer you bring the leg into your torso, the more you will feel it, like in the outer hip. Trust me, when the more complex a pose is, the more magic lies in the easy stuff. Well, easy, in the preparatory poses. They're never easy. This isn't easy, don't get me wrong. Okay, then gently release, and keeping the left foot as it is, grab hold of the right foot and extend the leg in front of you. So usually heron pose is done when we sit like in hero pose or Vajrasana, but this is also a nice variation, and it just helps you access the back of the leg. So draw the lower belly in, keep the spine long, relax your shoulders, stay with your breath, and imagine that you're trying to insert the thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. So using the pelvic cavity here, perhaps you can lift the leg a bit higher, but no strain, no force. Can always use a strap if you need to, and then gently release that leg. Let's do the other side. So grab hold of your outer left foot, and that was a nice click. And go from side to side. So how does it feel if you lift the leg a bit higher, if you keep it low? Try to keep your pelvis in a forward tilt. Spine is long, all is good. Just me waving my foot. Okay, and then see if you can bring into the elbow crease, but make sure that you're pressing evenly through the entire foot. So focus more on pressing through the inner edge of the left foot. And then go gently from side to side, keeping the chest open. The breath is deep and long. And this is a perfect opportunity to practice equanimity, which is simply not judging your experience, because the mind is so keen to judge anything that we do as either good or bad, sometimes neutral, but I think it's usually a bit more biased towards one or the other. But in yoga, we try to stay centered amidst all the judgment that your mind might be doing. Okay, excellent. So then grab hold of the left foot, and then inhale, straighten it. So open through the chest, wave length through the spine, shoulders are down, and think what's happening in the left hip joint. Squeeze your belly. All is good. You're good exactly where you are. One more round of breath. And then gently release the leg. And you're going to transition into tadpole. So that's a nice hip opener. That's not too taxing. And bring the big toes together, knees as wide as your mat or even wider. As you bring yourself forward, as though you wanted to pour yourself on the mat. Stay on your hands, fingers spread wide. And as though you wanted to bring the hips to the mat. You may be able to do it. I am far from it. And it's okay. So squeeze your belly and feel what's happening in your body. Notice where you feel most sensations and try to connect to what you're feeling, like deep down, rather than just, oh, my hips. But where exactly can you feel it? Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly transition to wide-legged child's pose, pushing the hips back. If you want to, you can drop down all the way. So we're moving dynamically. As you inhale, you shift forward into like tadpole / up dog. Exhale, slide back and down. Inhale forward. Open through the chest, shoulders are down. Exhale, come down and feel the openings around your hips. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down. So inhale come up and extend your legs out. You know what's happening. So you can use blocks, but you don't have to. So you want to keep your hips in a forward tilt. So instead of rounding out back and kind of like slouching that way, you want to use your hip flexors, keep the belly squeezed so that you're coming to forward fold. But this isn't what we're doing just yet. So turn towards the right leg and keeping your belly engaged as you inhale, lift the right leg up. So hold it here, try to keep your spine as straight as you can. Hold it, all is good. My leg is shaking. Exhale, bring it down. Give it a little rub if you need to. Turn towards the other leg. Without thinking too much, inhale, lift the leg up and hold it. Smile. Breathe, your belly's engaged. Everything's dandy. Just a little bit more. And bring it down. All right, I feel really warm. I don't know about you. So let's just do it one more time. So inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale and hold. All is good. You can do it. Keep the spine straight. Bring it down. The other side. And we're done, I promise. So tall spine. Tilt your hips forward. And inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up and hold it. Hold it, let it burn. Exhale, bring it down. Give your thighs a little shake. Keep the legs in a wide V. Feet are flexed. Engage your quads. Press on through the back of your knees. And then inhale. Wavelength through the spine. Begin to tilt at your hips. With an exhalation, you fold forward. So you're sandwiching yourself here rather than arching your back. Rest your hands wherever they go. It doesn't matter if you're, all the way flat or if you're up here, but that you keep the engagement through the legs, through the belly, and you connect to your breath. So one more inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Bring the legs up, and we transition to all fours. So step your right foot through. Inhale, easy, come up. Squeeze your left glute as you slide your hips forward and down. Open through the chest. All is good. Another inhale here. And as you exhale, shift your hips back, flexing the right foot, stretching out through the hamstrings. Just stay here for a moment, folding up the hips. And then as you inhale, shift forward, bring the right hand by the right foot, and inhale, bring the left arm up. So keep squeezing the knee into the arm whilst reaching the left arm as high as you can. Squeeze your belly, and then exhale, come down. So already here, you can use your strap if you want to. I like to come into like a deeper lizard variation, so you can walk the foot out. And you aim to bring the shoulder underneath the right leg. So I'll show you on the left side, because you'll be able to see better. And maybe I'll move the mic so I'm not restricted. So you can work on your lizard whilst I'm having a little play with the tech stuff. Okay, so you try to come as low as you can to bring the shoulder underneath the thigh. Then wrap your arm around. So then you can bring the right hand to join. So keep your belly squeezed in. You can use the strap for it if you want to. Notice what's present. Allow any frustration to surface. And then release. So I must remember that you did it on the right side. Okay. So this time from tabletop, step the left foot through. Inhale, easy, come up. Squeeze the right glute. Drag your hips with you. Wavelength through the spine, so lift up from the hips. Find grounding as you exhale. One more inhale. And as you exhale, slide your hips back. Left foot is tucked. So you see, lift up from the hips and then fold. That's a game changer for what you can feel in the back of your leg. So stay here for a moment. Imagine the tissues releasing in the back of the leg. All is good. As you inhale, shift forward. Left hand by the inner foot. Kick the knee into the arm. Drag your hips forward and down, and inhale your right arm up. So what's happening here? Squeeze your belly, twist a little bit more. And then bring the right hand down. And this time, walk the foot out if you need to, so you can slide the left shoulder underneath. But I'm going to do on the right side, so I'm not having any imbalances. So wherever you are, see if you can wrap your hand around the thigh. Then once you've got the stability, squeeze your belly and bring the right hand to join the left. So this should give you a taste of what we're going to be doing. All is good regardless, wherever you are. And then gently release, unravel, and step back into downward facing dog. You probably missed chaturangas, haven't you? Pedal your feet if you need to. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. Belly is drawn in. Lift your hips up. You can shake your head. Yes, yes. No, no. Just to make sure it's all good, all relaxed. Your quads are engaged. And then as you inhale, come up into plank. Squeeze your belly, use your entire body. And then exhale, chaturanga of the knees up or down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale into down dog. Now step your right foot through between the hands and twist so that you spin. And you can keep the right heel lifted. If your Achilles tendon is a bit stiff like mine, you want to feel a nice stretch through the side of your left leg. So you can fold a little bit. See where you can feel that ninja stretch. And then as you inhale, you shift, you go the other way. So keep the belly squeezed in, the thighs engaged, so to support your hamstrings. And we're going to move from side to side. So inhale one way, exhale the other way. You can do it without hands, but you might fall. So inhale, go to the side. Exhale, go the other way. So it's also about having fun too. So it doesn't matter if you fall. Inhale to the side. Exhale to the other side. Then inhale as you shift forward, frame the foot. Exhale into plank. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, roll over into plank. And then prepare. So protract the shoulders, tuck your tailbone under. Legs are together. And then as you inhale, you shift forward, lift the knee up to the chest. Exhale, back the other side. Inhale, exhale. So one side per move. Inhale, right. Exhale, back. Inhale, left. Exhale, back. One more round. Inhale, right. Exhale, back. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to a back bend. All is good. Exhale into child's pose briefly. So drop your head down. Find your breath. Gather a little strength. You can release your wrists. And so you inhale, you come up and sit on your heels. The next inhalation, extend your arms out. So keep reaching them in opposite directions. Right, so notice what's present. Squeeze the knees together. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All is good. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. In. Out. Can you feel your shoulders yet? In. And out. And then inhale as you roll the shoulders back. So the last bit, your palms moving up to accentuate this movement. And then as you exhale, you roll the shoulders forward. So inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale, open up. Exhale, roll. In, out. In, out. So really feel what's happening in the shoulders, how your shoulder blades are supporting this move. Keep the ribs corseted in and your breath calm and steady. I'm so hot right now and it's not even that warm here. So keep going, feel your shoulders, feel how they connected to your abdominal muscles and that your inner body. And then release. Give your shoulders a little shake. They've done a really good job. Right hand on the shoulder, lift it up, grab hold of the right shoulder and slide the right hand between the shoulder blades. Keep the lower ribs in, long spine, and press the back of the head into your right arm. So breathe in and out. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, open through the shoulder girdle. Should feel a nice stretch around the shoulder blade and through the armpit. Keep the belly squeezed in. Squeeze the legs together. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, release. I can really feel my shoulders now. And then inhale, open your arms out. Open through the chest. You can look up. And then as you exhale, slide your right arm underneath. Hook it. And then see if you can double wrap the hands together for Garuda arms. So eagle arms. So here again, ribs are in. You breathe into the chest. Hands away from your face. And inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Keep the shoulders down. Observe what's happening in your shoulders. You're experiencing freedom, spaciousness, density. What is it? One more inhale. Lift your arms up a little bit. Exhale, very gently release. Let's do the other side. So inhale, spread your wings out, open through the chest. So you exhale, left arm underneath, and then we double up, wrap the hands. And if you can't do it, it's okay. You can just give yourself a big bear hug. So same thing. Lower belly in. Bring your arms up. Keep an equanimous mind. All is good, exactly as you are. Stay with your breath. One more inhale, lift the arms higher. And as you exhale, gently relax them. So pause here for a moment. What's happening in your shoulders? So they might feel already open, but at the same time, there's we put a lot of effort and attention to them. So it takes time to actually experience all the goodness if you might be feeling a bit sore. Okay, one last thing to strengthen the shoulders, but also increase the flexibility through strength, is that we open the arms out to the sides into a beautiful cactus shape. And then you bring the arms together, so very close, but they're not touching. Even if you can, you want to keep the elbows in line with your shoulders. Keep squeezing, keep breathing, your belly is squeezed. Hold it here. This is so hard. You can do it. If I can, then you can. Just a little bit more. Stay with your breath. I don't know if you can see how much my arms are shaking. You can do it. Keep the corset your ribs, long spine. Inhale, open out to the side. Exhale together. Inhale out. Exhale, nearly together. So it's like some energy pushing them apart. Inhale out. Exhale together. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale and hold. Lift the elbows a bit higher. Draw your lower belly in. All is good. Let it burn. And then release. Wow. Just so my shoulders, obviously like some parts of my shoulders, my back, they're quite strong, but other parts are so weak. So I've got a lot of imbalances. So for me, like just any shoulder strengthening or flexibility through strength is a killer. So I hope that you appreciate it. Doing this. Okay, so come onto your mat. You can lie down on your back. Gonna do some core. Okay. So with your legs bent, just for now, tilt your pelvis. So as though you wanted to like lift your tailbone up and then go the other way, as though you wanted to sit up. So just have a little play with what's happening in your hips. How does it feel around your sacrum, perhaps in your psoas, your hip flexors? But it's quite nice to release the shoulders now, isn't it? I could probably just stay here forever. Okay, so now you want to tilt your pelvis back as though you wanted to lift your tailbone up, but without actually doing it. So you glue the lower back into the mat, extend your right leg out and hold the back of your right leg. Squeeze your abs in. You can lift your head up a little bit to activate your abdominal muscles. Left leg is hovering above the mat or all the way down, up to you. But keep the engagement through your mid body. And then swap the legs. Lift the shoulder blades off the mat and swap. 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 So each time you bring the leg in, you want to feel like a little squeeze in your abs. So swap. 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 Keep going. Let it burn. You can do it. Just a little bit more. Squeeze your abs. Maybe you can lift your torso a bit higher. Let it burn. Just one more round. And release just for a moment. Bring the feet down. So you inhale, extend both your legs to the sky. Feet are pointing. Feel the femur bones settle into the hip socket. Bring the legs a bit closer to you. So it's not a kick, but you're using your abdominals. So drawing them closer to the spine. And stay here. Then interlace the fingers behind your head. And lift yourself as close to the legs and bring the legs to your elbows. And hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your legs nearly all the way. Shoulders are lifted for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. I could really feel it. Gather a little strength. Don't judge your experience, regardless whether your mind thinks you did it well or not so well. You did it. You know, that's how you get stronger, through practice. Okay, so let's just do one more thing. So with the legs bent this time, hands behind your head, and same, you want to bring the knees as close to your elbows, pressing the lower back into the mat, navel close to the spine for another 3, 2, 1. Release, cross your legs, roll over and step up. So we're going to come into Malasana, so the yogic squat. Feet 45 degrees out and have a little play with where you want to be. So knees are pointing the same way as your feet, and squeeze your glutes a little bit to support that lift. To use your pelvic floor muscles, hands at your hips. Push the elbows into the knees. And here you can bring the shoulder as close to the right knee to wrap the arm around, and maybe left hand wants to meet the right for a bind. Keep the belly squeezed in. So this is a difficult bind. So you can use the strap if you want to, you don't have to, you can just keep reaching the right hand there. Come back to the center and see how it feels on the other side. So fold at the hips, draw your lower belly in and wrap the left arm around. So my left hand doesn't want to meet the right hand, and that's okay. Work with what you've got. Stay with your breath. And release. Inhale, straighten the legs and walk them out so that you're in a wide stance. Feet are parallel or even like slightly in. Inhale, wave length through the spine, so flat back. And as you exhale, draw the belly in and fold. Pressing down through the outer edges of the feet. Quads are engaged. Draw the shoulder blades towards your hips. Stay with your breath. Then as you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, right hand in front of you. So in the middle between your feet. And then keeping the hips square and parallel to the mat. Push the mat away. Lift your left arm up. So you aim to stack the shoulders. Exhale, swap the hands. Let's go the other way. So check that the hips are parallel. Inhale your right arm up. Hips are square. Exhale, bring it down. So you can either try this variation again, or this time you can allow your hips to turn as you grab hold of your left ankle. Then inhale your left arm up. Squeeze your belly. Stay here. Inhale back to the center. Let's go the other way. So lean to the right, grab hold of the right ankle, the shin, calf, twist, reaching the right arm up, squeeze your belly, and then come back to the center. So now, grab your strap. I'm going to try Bird of Paradise. So, like I mentioned, Bird of Paradise requires an openness through the hips, through the shoulders, and also stability. So if your balance is a bit off today, then it might be even trickier. But you know what it's like with balance. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. So I like to start this pose with starting in Malasana, or like this weird version of Malasana. So you drop your shoulder as far down as though you want to bring it underneath your right knee, and you can have the strap ready. So you thread the arm through. Okay, I need to go probably this way so you can see what's happening. And then with or without the strap, you bring the hands together. Okay, so do this weird walk back. And you might be happy here, focusing on your inner experience, connecting to your pelvis and the cavity. Or you begin to shift the weight onto the left leg, keeping the engagement through the core. Inhale, come up to standing. And then either stay here, pressing down through the left leg, or you can work on straightening the right leg out. And gently bend. And I like to bring the leg down before I release the shoulders. So it's really taxing on the shoulders. So you need to be careful and be mindful how you do it, because it's not about the pose, but how do you hold the awareness of your body and what's happening, like where you need to engage, where you need to release. So give me a little shake. Let's try on the other side. So starting in Malasana or whatever version, sometimes I start in this weird squat. So you bring the shoulder underneath, wrap the arm around, and grab hold of your hands. Okay, so once you've got the bind and you feel like, okay, this is where I want to be, more or less, then you can begin to stand up. So lift the left heel, find grounding if you can through the standing leg, and it's fine to stay here. But then if you want to, you can begin to straighten the left leg and smile. Keep the belly squeezed in, and then gently release. Give your body a little shake. I really like to shake it out here. Just keep the body loose. Let go of this rigidity and like a rope that's being twisted and tied. Okay, so come down onto your mat. And now we've got all of this openness through the hips and the legs. Then we can use that to try to come into Ubaya Konasana. So like we usually come into wide-legged forward fold. Then we're going to do that by actually balancing on our sit bones. So see where you are. Grab hold of the outer edges of the feet. So tilt your pelvis forward, squeeze your belly, engage your pelvic floor as you shift your weight back. And you might be happy just here. Or keeping the spine long, you can begin to straighten the legs out to the sides. So balancing any version of Navasana, Ubaya Konasana, or Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana, they require so much inner awareness. So it's not pulling, it's using your abdominal muscles, setting your drishti, your focal point, as something still, so you can connect to your inner body. Then gently release the legs, give your arms a little shake. And we can try that again, because it was fun, wasn't it? Okay, so prepare, and usually, you know, the second, the third time you try it, you approach it with a bit more awareness, so each time it might feel a bit more stable. So shift the weight back, squeeze your abdominal wall, elongate through the spine, and then as you inhale, open up through the legs, relax the shoulders, slide your thigh bones deeper into the hip socket. See where you can engage more, where you can release. And then bring the legs down. So have a little sway from side to side. So we're going to come into Agni Sambhasana. So we did so much opening through the inner hips. It will be nice to release the outer hips. So stack your right foot over the left knee. Keep the belly drawn in, tall spine. You can slide a block here, a cushion. Or just stay here, keeping both feet flexed. Tuning into the inner experience. Feel free to close your eyes. I'm going to stay here for a couple of breaths. All is good. And now overstay here, going to come into Gomukhasana, or the cow face pose. So you want to bring the top leg as far through as you can, keeping both sits bones down. I like to bring my hands onto the feet, so to channel more grounding through the body, and also to remind myself to keep the right hip down. So you don't want to be here, keep thinking of pulling it down. Relax the shoulders. Soften your face. And then inhale, release the legs, and go the other way. So both feet are flexed. This time left foot is on top of the right knee. Observe how differently it might feel on this side, and differently in a physical sense, but also how you feel about doing this side. Where do you feel openness? Where do you feel density? Draw your lower belly in, spine is long, all is good, you're good enough. Either stay here or slide your right foot underneath the left bum cheek, right leg over, and then slide your left hip down. Notice what's present. So no strain, no force. Tune into your inner experience. With that next inhalation, slowly unravel and come down onto your back, drawing the right knee in and crossing the leg over the left. Shimmy your hips to the right and drop the legs to the left for a spinal twist. Try to keep the right shoulder blade down. Your belly is drawn in. Inhale back to the center. Swap the cross of the legs. Hips slide to the left and then drop your legs to the right. Where can you feel the twist? Inhale back to the center. And last but not least, if you want to, you can come into plow. So I'm not teaching it. The only thing I'm going to say, if you want to try it, don't turn your head from side to side. So if you don't know what plow is, you can just bring your legs up and let your hands support your back of your hips. If you do come into plow, just make sure that you lift your chin to the sky. Breathe slowly and mindfully, preparing your body for relaxation. And 2 more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, you can rest in constructive rest pose or shavasana, whatever feels right. Revisit your intention and give yourself permission to fully relax, to fully let go of the practice, forgiving yourself. Remember, it doesn't matter how well you did, but that you tried, that you're here, and that you keep practicing. So breathe in for a count of 4. And breathe out for a count of 4. And take a deeper, more energizing breath in. Wiggle your toes and fingers and roll over onto one side. So slowly transition back into a comfortable seat. Keeping your eyes closed. Connect to the earth. Connect to the skies. So feeling present, feeling connected within yourself. bring the hands at your heart to end with a chant Om. So deep inhalation. Gently bow your head, thanking yourself and your body for having done all the wonderful things, thanking yourself for carving out the time, and softly open your eyes. Thank you very, very much for your practice with me today. Namaste. So I know how challenging Bird of Paradise is. It's still a very challenging pose for me. But just thought that you're always up for stepping out of your comfort zone, and we've never tried it, so hi Sonia, hi Arpan, if that's how you pronounce your name, I'm really sorry. Fantastic. Oh, Sandra, I am really sorry that you couldn't see such a part of the practice, but I hope that you could hear it and that guided you until the light came on. Tough poses today. Yes, I know that they're really tough, but you all did great. And remember, it doesn't matter how well you did, but that you tried, that you know, stepped out of your comfort zone, even if it was like 1 foot out. It's still a step out towards something new, and the unknown can be a really scary place. So thank yourself. You should be proud of yourself that you did try. I haven't actually. No, just don't know what came over me today. I just thought that would be nice to do a bind, and I guess I've been thinking about this pose, but I haven't really, practiced particularly for that, if you know what I mean. I have been doing some hip openers, so that definitely helped. And it was just like, you guys are so good. That I just needed to. Well, I just thought that you'd appreciate. A challenge pose being thrown into the practice. Yes, holding the hand from underneath, that was that came to me last, because like my hips were open enough. I could kind of like stretch the leg out, even if not fully, but just like my shoulders were screaming. Because the thing is that if you don't have strong like shoulders or hips, and you try to push for flexibility on its own, then you're kind of trying to pour out an empty cup, because if your muscles like are tight and you just want to strengthen them, they're tight for a reason. So we've been doing a lot of shoulder strengthening recently, so I get that definitely helped. But being able to do the bind was the thing that came to me last. And I remember how frustrating it was. And still now, if I don't warm up my shoulders properly, I can really feel how inaccessible the pose is. So don't worry about how well or you did, or how well your balance was. This was a super challenging pose that takes a good few years for a lot of people to get into, and some people may never be able to do the bind, because binds, they require so much from the shoulder girdle that's inherently unstable, that sometimes it's just better not do it. Just do it with a strap. So you minimize any risk and like the pressure in that area. And there's so much else to focus on, that even if you skip the bind, the balance and opening through the hip and stretching out the leg, then I'm sure that itself will keep you occupied for a long time. Yes, that's the spirit, Sonia. Yes, I got really warm. So yeah, go eat, and make sure that you eat well, so you're not feeling weak tomorrow. Thank you very much for your input and sharing your insights. I love sharing the practice with you. So we've got another one on Thursday. Then On Sunday, there's the Zoom practice, 11 till 12. It's bookable through my Book When page, which you can find on my Facebook page, or DM me if you'd like to book a space there, because then obviously I can see what you're doing exactly, and can give you a little tweaks that may help the pose more accessible. So if you would like to take advantage of that, then let me know. Be sure to check out my YouTube. Just uploaded a new video of mindful movement meditation. So whenever you feel like you can't get out of your head and into your body, this is just my favorite go-to. So simply put it, it's about focusing on the physical aspects of your body and the movement of your arms, for example, and synchronizing it with the breath. So make sure that you check it out and let me know what you think. The next meditation space will be on the 25th of July, and I would love to see you there. So last Saturday we did Yoga Nidra with loving kindness meditation, the metta meditation that helps you tap into the source of you, the love, the compassion, and the kindness. So if you'd like to access some, learn some accessible tools, how to meditate, then Natalia and I wholeheartedly welcome you. So if you've got any questions or anything to share, then let me know. Otherwise, have a lovely evening, and I'll see you on Thursday. Much love. Mwah.